Hello, everybody hear me? How's everybody doing? All right, it's got a little special stream today. How's everybody doing? What's up? What's up, Raw Meats and Kai Salas, Meep Meep, Zona Tracks, OG Reinhard. What's up, WT, T Moeller, Fat of the Land. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, so I ate nothing but testicles for 3 days. Nothing but brains and testicles. And let me tell you, man, that's a pretty profound experience. I don't think I've experienced anything like that until I started eating brains and it started changing my dreams. But I got 3 bags of testicles from my live meat market for super cheap. Like, you guys wouldn't believe how cheap I get this stuff. I'm almost afraid to talk about it because if anybody in town starts to get keen to where I'm getting my stuff, I'm going to have less supply of it. But let's just say I got 3 bags of testicles for like literally nothing. Fresh. And so I decided to eat nothing but testicles for 3 days. And let me tell you, like, I've had one of the biggest like surges in testosterone that I've probably ever felt. And what it's been like has been basically my energy and my mood has gone up like significantly, and my strength has gone up. Like when I lifted today, it went up a little bit, and then also like my libido went up like crazy, like crazy, man. And everybody kind of knew this. I think this has been something that's kind of been known, obviously, for thousands of years that eating organs will enhance your organs. But yeah, eating testicles will absolutely increase your testosterone, like for sure. It almost felt like I was almost it felt like almost like a drug because I was eating so many of these balls, and so yeah, it felt like there was almost like um, just it felt like it was surging through me, like I could feel it for sure. So anyways, it was a really cool experiment, and it was probably one of the most profound changes I've seen in my life since I started adding brains in, and it started like changing my dreams. So organs are definitely where it's at, like for sure. So I just wanted to report that to anybody that's looking to jack up their testosterone in a normal way. That's definitely the way to do it. And I wasn't for sure. I was a little bit skeptical when I first tried testicle because I only ate one of them. But this time I ate like I've eaten probably like 8 or 10 of them since I got them. And I got like a whole other. I got 2 more bags. I got 1 bag in the freezer, and I got like 3 more in my fridge, and I got one for dinner here today. And it's pretty crazy, man. It's actually like it's almost like addictive in a way. I've never experienced anything like this eating food in my life. So this is a very, very interesting experiment I'm doing, and I encourage anybody that's looking to do that to go get some Rocky Mountain oysters. There's some websites online that supply them. You can there's it doesn't look like there's um, any sign of them going short or anything like that. So, but yeah, next to brains, I think testicles and brains are like my favorite thing to eat now. But so, anyways, I just wanted to report that to everybody. That's been like a very, very interesting change to my diet, and I'm gonna probably be eating a lot more testicles because testosterone is such an important hormone for men. And I knew that like something's been a little bit off with my body. I don't know if it was my adrenal glands or what, but I figured I've had a suspicion that it's been something with my endocrine system, which is like your adrenal glands, your thyroid, and your testosterone. And I felt like let's just put it this way. I felt like I felt better in my mid 20s, right? And who doesn't feel the best like in their mid 20s? That's just like everybody knows that, right? But it's interesting to know exactly what is actually being fluctuated as I get older, you know what I mean? And it feels like my testosterone did take a little dip. Even though it's not like unhealthily low or anything like that, like I feel like I'm still in like a normal range. I had really, really high testosterone when I was in my 20s. So what I'm feeling right now as a normal testosterone level, I don't think feels that great to me. So integrating this supplement in for testosterone has been like a really, really awesome change to my life. So, you know, and I'll never go like do testosterone supplements or anything like that. Like, I know this is like a common thing that people do, but I know you can do this stuff naturally. So I'm trying to find every way natural to do it. No, anyways, enough about balls. Stream's getting a little gay. So enough about the balls. I have a little special surprise today. This is a package that I got from Tyler Cirker. If you guys have noticed my community channel, I promoted Tyler's channel, and I'll link it up here too for you guys. But he's been a really good resource for this diet and just health and nutrition in general. Here's Tyler's channel. And he's been a help to me since I started getting on the carnivore diet a couple years ago, and then I switched over to raw primal. And so, anyways, he reached out to me the other day. We started talking a little bit. We had a pretty good conversation. We did a Skype call, and I'm gonna do an interview with him pretty soon because he's just an interesting guy, and he's got some interesting stuff to say. So I think an interview with him would be pretty cool. And so I'm going to do that coming up here. But he was nice enough to offer to send me some food that I wouldn't normally get here in the Midwest that he can get on the East Coast there, some good seafood. So yeah, he's a very trustworthy guy. I could tell. I can read people pretty well nowadays. And so I trusted him to give him my address and send me a package. And he sent it overnight. So he paid like a really significant shipping charge. And so I believe he said he sent me some tuna fat. So let's see what we got in here. It's only been unrefrigerated for I think less than a day. As soon as I got it this morning, I threw it in the fridge a little bit. But yeah, this is really cool of him to do that, because I mean, for him to go out of his way to send me something, some really like high quality, high nutrient dense food, and then overnight it to me on top of that, you know, is like a very cool gesture. So appreciate that, Tyler. And yeah, check his channel out. I anticipate that he's just kind of starting up right now. He's only got a few videos, but I anticipate he's probably going to have some really cool videos coming up. All right, looks like we got two jars in here. Sweet. There's one. Let's see what's in here. And this is going to be my meal today, actually, too. I got what I got for dinner is can't get too much stuff in the camera here, but I got the usual brains, balls, and eyeballs. And then we're going to see what's in the mystery jar from the East Coast. They must have flown it over here if it was overnight, huh? Must have been on an airplane. What's up, chicken jar? Alright, this looks like... Forgive me if I don't know what this is exactly, Tyler. Maybe you can help me out since you're on the stream, but this looks to be some tuna. Look at that. So this is a, damn, it's kind of a little bit washed out. There you go. You guys can see that a little bit. This is a jar of some, looks like some really nice fatty tuna, I'm guessing. Ooh. Wow, that smelled, that's definitely tuna. Tuna belly. Holy shit. Dang, that smells good, man. Tuna belly and tuna steak. Alright, so this must be the tuna steak. Wow. Dude, this is going to be a nice little dinner here. Tuna steak. You can't get anything like this over here. And what do we got here? This must be the belly. Oh, this is the steak. That's the belly. Nice. Look at that. That's a lot of meat in there too. Thanks, brother. Did it ferment much? No. Doesn't smell fermented at all. It smells like tuna, man. Yeah, I don't really smell any fermentation. Wow. Ooh, that's some good looking stuff there. Wow, man. All right. Let's take a little bite. Thank you very much for this, man. That was very generous of you. What a nice present. One of the best presents of all time. It's a trap now. I could trust this guy. I don't know. Man. That's tasty. Wow. This is a treat, man. Yeah, thanks, Tyler. That was cool, man. I gotta try this belly too. That's some good tuna right there. Wow. This is like This is tuna belly right here. Look at those fat rolls in there. Holy crap. This is tuna steak right here. Dang, man. I'm like picking out on this stuff. This is so good. I haven't had seafood in a while either. Man, that is really how come I can't think of the word? That's a like a delicacy. This is a delicacy, man. This is so much different than like canned tuna, you know what I mean? No, I can't believe this is a wild fish and it has this kind of marbling in it, man. That's like unbelievable. I mean, you can barely get Wagyu beef with this kind of marbling, you know? I feel like a glutton right now. I can't stop eating this. Yeah, there's a lot of fish oils in here, a lot of omegas and stuff going straight to my brain. Straight brain food, man. Hey Tyler, I'll change the name of this video too, so if you ever want to look back, you know, just to watch it again someday, I'll put your name on it. This is one of the best things I've probably ever eaten in my life. This is like really good, man. Holy shit. Tuna belly. Good lord. Man. I'm gonna eat the rest of that for sure. Dude, I got fish for like 2 or 3 days, man. That was awesome. Fish and balls. Fish balls and brains. That's all I'm eating for 3 days. I feel bad, this poor lonely little tuna steak over here. Now this is a mukbang right here. We got tuna belly, we got tuna steak, we got lamb brains, eyeballs, testicles. This is a feast, man. Tyler Cirker mailed it to me, man. Jonathan. He mailed it to me from the East Coast. He overnighted it. It was really cool of him. No, it's good to know people, man. You know what I mean? We can, even though the shipping is, it's very high, but you know, we can do these things for each other every once in a while. If you can't source certain foods, we can just send them to each other as little gifts. You know, that's really, really cool idea. Man, tuna's such a treat, man. Tuna was always like one of my favorite foods, canned foods of all time. I feel like I'm blaspheming tuna by even saying that, but it was one of the best canned foods that I've ever eaten. I mean, I used to eat that stuff all the time. Anytime I made like macaroni and cheese, I always threw tuna in it. You know what I mean? I was never like a complete retard with food, you know what I mean? I would never just like pig out on pizza all day. Right? Like I always like throw tuna in with my pasta and just like, you know, stuff like that. Oh man. Tyler, cheers, man. So good. I'm gonna refrigerate the rest of this. I'll be right back. And eat this tomorrow. Tuna belly. Tuna belly, man. You know, I'm so stuck in like the beef belt that I never even knew tuna belly was a thing. You know what I mean? Here, I'm gonna drop this down just a little bit here. Now we'll go. Just there we go. But yeah, between the balls and the brains these last few days, man, it's been a significant change. My mood and everything. It'd probably be pretty good fermented too, huh? That tuna. This is what the balls, you guys have seen the balls before, but this is what the balls look like. Man, this light washes everything out, doesn't it? Anyways, it's like, Can't really show you the color of it, but it's like flesh colored. It's like soft. It's almost like a scallop. Kind of got a sweet taste to it, the balls do. Catch up on comments here. Jacob Gabriel says it just had steak tartare for the second day in a row, never felt better. Awesome, man. Oh, you must be like new to the raw diet. You know, I never knew. I mean, I always suspected organs were kind of where it's at, you know? Because everybody stresses organs and organs. Like, some people say you don't need organs, and then there's the whole group of people that say you absolutely need organs. I'm starting to see what they're talking about, and it's not just, the thing is it's not just like liver, you know? I was really heavily focused on liver for a long time, like, oh, just eat liver, that'll get your organs in. But it's really all about like brains and testicles and liver and all that stuff together. That's where it's at, man. If you're just eating liver, you're missing out on so much, man. Because brains and balls and eyeballs, like my vision's getting better. I've been eating eyeballs and brains every day for like 3 weeks. My vision's getting better. It feels like my brain's getting better. Stuff's unbelievable, man. Yeah, I think the mercury and fish thing is just, I don't think it's really something to worry about. I wouldn't eat high mercury fish like every day or anything like that, but I mean, even that being said, I think it's just some kind of fear mongering, you know what I mean? Because you shouldn't be scared of fish. Maybe freshwater fish because of toxins and stuff like that, but I don't think we're supposed to be scared of fish. I believe Aajonus said something about the mercury in fish helps detoxify metals out of your own body. So there's something to that too. John Trim, Weston, what do you think of supermarket testes? They sell testes at my local supermarket. I'd go for it, man. I mean, I don't know of any direct issues right offhand that could stem from buying supermarket testicles. I don't know of any specific toxins that store in the balls or anything like that. I would go for it because the benefits I've got from these are like crazy, and I'm gonna try to source these any way I can. So I'd try it out. Jonathan, I just called my butcher. They said for sure they get pig brain. Anyone get experience with pork brain? Yeah, I've eaten it once or twice. It does have kind of like it seems like a different consistency than like beef brain or lamb brain or goat brain or something like that. But yeah, I think it's okay. Just a little bit different type of brain. Meat says liver is boring, to be honest. It's really cool when you first discover liver, like, and your body needs those minerals and vitamins, like, that you've been depriving it of for so long. And so you just gorge on it. Like, I think that's what most people do is they just, like, pound that liver down. But that's what I did. I was eating, like, a couple pounds of liver a week for a while, you know, and then I just, like, didn't need it anymore, so I just stopped eating the liver. I think there's something in these. I mean, obviously there's a lot of vitamin A in these eyeballs, but it's hard to really believe what you read. Like, it's just, you got to just eat it every day to kind of see it, you know what I mean? To know for yourself. It's hard to make that connection between what you read and the food. Like, believing that there's actually high vitamin A in there and it's going to help your eyes. It's really hard to just believe that, you know what I mean? But once you eat eyes every single day, I feel like my vision is extremely sharp right now. And it might even be diminishing like floaters I have in my eyes. I haven't really, obviously not like, I'm not counting my floaters to see how many I have every day, but it seems like everything is getting much more clear, like my vision and everything. Eat raw meat says, remember who taught you to fear mercury in fish? Doctors and media. I know, man. That's the thing. And it's like fish is like the best thing for you, and they want you to be scared of fish. That it doesn't make sense to me, man. I wouldn't believe it. Tuna belly, man. Eating like a king over here. Finally got my dental work finished up. Thank God. I might have one more thing to do in the dentist, and I think I'm done forever. But I finally got my bridge fixed and put in right here. This one, and this one. All fake, but it's finally straight. They finally straightened my teeth out. It was crooked for like a year right here. They finally got it fixed up, and it's more solid now because I had a cantilever bridge. So it was just this tooth and this tooth, two teeth. This one was fake, and this one was crowned. So when I'd bite down on it, it would rock this tooth back and forth, and it would like kind of separate it. So I was getting some pain. So unfortunately, they had to integrate this tooth, my second tooth off of my big one here, into the bridge. They had to grind it down to a nub and then crown it with the bridge. So I have a 3-tooth bridge now, which is more stable. But it's crazy, man. The only reason I had to put this bridge in is because I got basically butchered up by the dentist. Because they talked me into... because they Chicken Jar just called me Snaggletooth. That's funny. That was... I told Chicken Jar one time that was what my little brothers used to call me. Now everybody's on the internet's going to call me Snaggletooth, but my teeth were crooked and they call me Snaggles. But anyways, yeah, I had to, this was $3,500 for this whole bridge right here, 3-tooth bridge. It's all porcelain. That's part of the reason it was so expensive. There's no metals in it, so it's all just made out of glass. And the only reason I had to put this $3,500 bridge in is because they talked me into doing a root canal on my canine tooth when I was 20 years old. And the root canal failed miserably, created all sorts of problems. I had to go to the ER twice because my face swelled up. I had all sorts of issues with this canine tooth, man. It very well could have been a big problem of what contributed to a lot of my health problems, is because I had that root canal, because there's a lot of evidence that root canals cause cancer and all sorts of shit. And I was suspecting that my gums were turning cancerous above this root canal because they were just looking really weird. Like they were like almost like it just looked very abnormal. Let's put it that way. It looked like a cancerous skin cell. You know, I know what a cancerous skin cell looks like. It's like a asymmetrical kind of raised, and that's exactly what my gums were looking like above this root canal. And so, anyways, yeah, just word to the wise, man. Don't ever get a root canal. If you have a problem with the tooth, try to heal it naturally, heal the infection naturally with this diet. If it doesn't resolve itself in 2-3 weeks or a month, then get the tooth extracted. But never get a root canal, because what you're doing is you're leaving a dead bone inside your skull. And it's creating anaerobic bacteria above the dental cavities. Because what they do is they sterilize like two of your roots going up, or one of your roots, or however, whatever the shape it is. They sterilize that main root. But what they're failing to do is they're failing to sterilize all of the accessory canals that branch off of that root. And so what they're doing is they're creating a situation to where they're depriving your root system of white blood cells to go heal it. And so they're creating situations to where anaerobic bacteria flourishes inside of your dental cavities above your tooth that they didn't sterilize. And then your white blood cells are unable to go attack it. And so it just creates massive problems. It's linked with breast cancer and all sorts of shit. So anyways, anybody that's interested in dental stuff, root canals, stuff like that, I'm the guy to talk to, man. I have, I don't know, $13,000 in dental work in my mouth right now. This entire side of my face is almost all fake teeth. This entire side down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 fake teeth on this side of my mouth. So I know a lot about dental work. I've been through every dental procedure you could possibly imagine besides putting in dentures. I know all about it, man. So if you got any questions about teeth, dental work, very experienced in that. I know what to get done, what not to get done. If you have to ever get a crown or something like that, never get a root canal. Just get the crown or extract the tooth. But if you have to get a crown, always get ceramic, porcelain. So yeah, the last thing I'm gonna do at the dentist is I got a chip from when I broke my jaw. I got a major chip on this side of my tooth over here, and my bite. My bite is actually a lot better now that I got this bridge put in, but my bite's been off. I have like a cross bite now because my jaw didn't heal back properly. So they're gonna patch up this tooth up here with an epoxy. Unfortunately, it's probably very toxic, and it's a filling material, but it has no metals in it. It's some kind of like epoxy, but I kind of have to get it done because I have like a major chip on that side there, and it'll help my bite out. So is it safe to remove mercury fillings? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely better than keeping it in your body. For sure, get that stuff out, man. I'm actually thinking about skipping this filling now. I don't know, because I don't want more like I don't want more like epoxies in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should just skip it. I don't know. It'll probably help my bite out a little bit. Maybe I'll just get it done. Maybe I'll look up what's in epoxies. Maybe I should look that up right now. What's in dental epoxies fillings? That got me paranoid. Interesting. It's got plastic. Resins or composite fillings are used to fill teeth. Resin fillings, sometimes called composite resin fillings, are made of a mixture of plastic and very tiny fine glass particles. Resin is also stronger than amalgam because it bonds directly with the tooth. So I'd be putting plastic and fine glass particles in my mouth. That's not terrible, considering all of my food is packaged in plastic. It's not like I'm not getting plastic in my mouth every day anyways. Composite resin or white fillings have been used for about 20 years. Composite fillings are made from an organic polymer called bisphenol A glycidyl blah blah blah. Here, I'll just invite you guys over here. Let's learn about fillings a little bit here. They also contain inorganic particles including quartz, borosilicate glass, and lithium aluminum silicate. What the hell is that? Aluminum? I've already got one resin filling in my mouth. Whoa, hang on. Research has shown a byproduct of some resin restorations called bisphenol A. It might be estrogenic and increase the risk of breast cancer. Fuck that shit. I might skip this appointment. I think I'm just gonna skip it, man. I don't need another filling. Glass and resin. What was that stuff called? Bisphenol A? Bisphenol A fillings. BPA from dental sealants. Wow. Parents worried about mercury in amalgam dental fillings now have a new bugbear. BPA from dental sealants and white fillings. Jeez. What a mess. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm skipping this filling. What a mess, man. It's a BPA, the same shit that's in plastic. Amazing. Interesting. It doesn't contain BPA, but many of them contain compounds that turn into BPA on contact with saliva. Wow. Yeah, I'm good. I'll take my crooked bite. Gotta stay natural. Hey, thanks for the tip too, T Molar, on the font color here. Maybe I should change that, huh? Change it to maybe like red. Let's see if I can change it to red here. All right, there you go. All right. More tuna belly. BPA is really toxic, says Fat of the Land. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I already have one little filling with BPA in it in my mouth. Yeah, I'm gonna skip it. It's not gonna really correct my bite that much anyways. So, I'm just gonna skip it. Do what the dentist tells you to do, or else don't go. If I would have done what the dentist told me to do, I would have got my teeth bleached about 3 weeks ago. I started thinking about it and I was like, what am I doing? Why would I go home and put these trays in my mouth and bleach all my teeth out? Like, my teeth look fine, right? They look fine. Why would I bleach my teeth? You know what I'm saying? He kind of talked me into it, and then I came back to the next appointment, and I was like, I'm good. I'm not going to bleach my teeth. I'm fine. Wolfstand, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while, man. I was wondering about you. I also use now a natural made toothbrush made out of pork hair. That's awesome. I will look into that for sure. Eat raw meat. It looks like you got a little mini me, a mini me clone. Dentists are like car mechanics. They're actually more like they're not like car mechanics. They're more like body shop technicians. I've worked in both mechanic shops and body shop technicians or body shops, and yeah, they're just like a guy that works on cars, fixing damage with like Bondo, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Even though they have some a lot more formal education, that's basically all they're doing is they're taking grinders and they're grinding down your teeth, and then they're just like slapping stuff on top of it, filling it, smoothing it over. It's just like body work on your mouth, you know. It actually looks like kind of fun work. I actually wish I would have become a dentist, but it would have sucked if I would have woken up to all this stuff in the middle of being a dentist. I would have been like I don't know, a total outlier. My dentist looks at me like I'm crazy. Clearly, obviously. Fat of the Land says it's amazing that there be no need for dentists or doctors if people ate their natural diet. I know, isn't that crazy? Especially dentists. Excuse me, dentists. Especially dentists, man. Yeah, you got a wrench, Fat of the Land. You have proved yourself to be of moderator status, so use it wisely. You know what to do with it. I need some extra mods too for when Eat Raw Meat is taking his little nappy poos over there in Germany. Oh, we're over here feasting. Tuna belly, man. That's right, eat raw meat. The only thing good about dentists are the hot dentist assistants. Hey, me and Chicken Jar were coming up with a good idea. What do you guys think of this? So we'll do like a raw primal competition over in the mountains in California. We'll do like a hunt. And we'll have two different armies. One will be called the Tufanos, and the other army will be called the Gamma Slayers. And it'll be like a competition, and whoever comes back with the most pounds of meat after 2 days of hunting wins the competition. Whatever team comes back with the most pounds of meat. It'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Man. Yeah, it's too bad we really probably couldn't do anything like that and advertise it, because we'd get totally arrested by game wardens and shit. You know what I mean? Like, we'd have to make it like super underground. It'd be really hard to organize something like that because it'd have to be so underground, you know? But it's unfortunate we can't just go like organize a big hunt without getting some shit from a game warden or something like that, you know what I mean? Man, this tuna belly has been so good. Can't stop eating it, man. I have to cut it up a little bit. It's a little bit tough. I'm getting down to the fat here. I think I got my boning knife. Yeah, I'm thinking like the loser team gets eaten. Yeah, I'm thinking something like Lord of the Flies style. You know that movie Lord of the Flies? That book? Something like Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies meets Survivor. YouTube channel. Make a YouTube series, videotape all of it, and then post it on YouTube. If anybody's got some private land that they want to host a hunt, we should do that. Chicken Jar says we get hit by the vegan activists in Cali. No shit. Vegan activists and game wardens. We'd get totally doxxed, dude. Our whole plan would get shut down, especially if I advertise it on my channel. One little vegan would snitch us out to everybody. John Triumph says cooked salted virgins versus raw primal chats. Cooked salted virgins. That's great. Rebecca says get a film crew to turn it into a show like Naked and Afraid. I know. Seriously, like I could probably pitch an idea like this to somebody in like Hollywood or something, but the problem is I think you'd need some legit like hunting permits and shit like that. You know what I mean? And even if you're on private land, you need like licenses. You know what I mean? So it would probably get a little bit tricky. Tuna belly, baby. It's got my brain on fire. Gotta be careful with this boning knife, man. This thing will slice you up. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a meetup here, cause I'm in Omaha. I'm right in the center of the country, so it would be a fairly convenient place to fly for the majority of people. It might be inconvenient for some people, but I think for the majority of people it would be a convenient place to fly to. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about doing a meetup, but I'm just not sure how I'm gonna go about it yet, cause I'm not sure who all I want to come and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to extend, I don't think, a general invitation out. I got to figure out a more specific way to do it, because there's a lot of weird people online. You know what I mean? And to extend an open invitation out to invite a bunch of random people online to hang out with you is like, it's pretty naive, you know? So I'm trying to figure out like a strategic way and like a polite way to go about it, and some kind of like filtering process, you know what I mean? Like who all wants to come, you know. I'd have to like get to know you a little bit before we organize it, because I don't want just anybody showing up. I want it to be like a cool hangout, you know what I mean? So maybe I'll throw something together like that, because I'm right in the middle of the country, and it would be, I think, convenient for a lot of different people. Maybe like a raw primal camping trip or something. The only problem is we would be held hostage to the weather, you know. So, and the weather around here in Omaha is not the greatest. Half the year it's like really good, half the year it sucks. So it's like really a flip of the coin. You know what I mean? Like today it was raining all day. Yesterday was like the most perfect day of all time. No wind, 75 degrees, sun's out all day. And then like 4 days before that it was raining all day. It's just, it gets a little weird, a little wonky around here, but it's not like we couldn't deal with a little bit of rain anyways, right? We're raw primal eaters. But if we did it somewhere towards possibly in the fall around here, that might work out, you know? And it wouldn't be much for me to set it up, because I'm not going to have to go anywhere. I would just put an invitation out, and like maybe do like a camping thing. Everybody would have to like bring their own tent or something like that, you know? That would probably be the best and cheapest way to do it. Get like a big camping ground, and everybody just go camping for like a night, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like a long event. We could just do like hang out during the day, camp for a night, hang out the next day, and then everybody leaves or something, you know what I mean? That would be kind of fun. And there's some pretty cool like camping sites around here, you know? There's even some There's even some places by the river over here where you can rent teepees. It's all like Native American ground, like old Indian ground, and we could even like stay in like teepees. It'd be pretty fun. Fat of the Land says, don't want no gamma sneaking in. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna have to do like a gamma screening process. Do you get thirsty after eating dry aged beef? Not really, but I get thirsty after eating salted stuff for sure. Because I've been experimenting a little bit with salted stuff. Like when I do my cooked potato a couple times a week, I'll put a little bit of salt on it. That cooked potato, by the way, guys, has been going great. It's been a fantastic addition to my diet. I'll probably never go back on that. I'll probably continue to eat cooked potatoes periodically because it's just great, man. It just tastes really good. And it just feels really natural. Thanks for the super chat, Kai. Loving the variety of meat. Do you think during the meetup you could do group activities like hiking, camping, hunting, fishing, potluck? Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only problem is everybody, if people are going to be driving, it might be easier, but if people are going to be flying in and stuff, it would be probably hard to, everybody'd have to bring their own like fishing poles and like, you know, tents and stuff like that. So it might get a little burdensome traveling with all that, but we'll have to do what we have to do, you know. But I'm thinking definitely at least like some camping and some hiking and stuff like that. Maybe some like swimming in the river. Because we have like a, it's called the Platte River, and you can just like walk through it. So you can just like find a bank, and you can just like walk into the river and just kind of swim through it and walk through it. It's pretty cool, man. So yeah, if we find like a good camping spot by the river, we could all do like a big dinner together, you know what I mean? We could make a fire at night and like it'd be pretty fun. Cryo says, so we've eaten supermarket beef before raw. I can't get a cow until August, so I'm curious. Yeah, I eat supermarket beef pretty frequently in between getting my cows and stuff. Never had an issue with it. It's definitely not nearly as good as grass-fed beef, fresh, but it does the trick, man. Alright, time to dig into some eyeball. Becoming one of my favorite foods for some reason. I don't know what my body's craving out of this, probably the vitamin A. But I look forward to eating these every day now. There we go. Getting pretty good at cutting them open too. Just wait till there's a little bit of fluid coming out. And you just suck it out. Tastes like, does it taste like water? That's about it. Tastes nutritious though. I don't always eat the eyeball. Retinol. Yeah, I never thought about that. Retinol. A retinol hit. Can't forget my brains. I want some good, nice dreams tonight. I've been dreaming every single night. Every single night. I sleep all the way through the night. I sleep at least 7 hours straight without waking up. I have these intense dreams. It's unbelievable, man. Like my body is working like a well-oiled machine, and it's working just like a machine should. You know what I mean? Like I can expect that my body operates the same every single day now. I'm getting to the point to where like I'm feeling almost 100% healed from every condition you could possibly imagine, and I have nothing to complain about. And that's why I'm feeling more confident diving into stuff like the nut formula and like cooked potatoes and stuff like that, because I'm like, you know, my body's healed. You know what I'm saying? Like how bad could like a potato every once in a while be if I'm like eating like these ridiculous nutrient dense foods all day long? It's like, who cares about a cooked potato? Like a couple oxalates or whatever. Who cares, man? It couldn't be even 1% as bad as all of the stuff I was eating 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So I'll never go back from eating raw foods and raw organs and like, raw dairy and stuff like that. That's always like the basic fundamental of your diet, But I'm not afraid to like eat like a cooked potato, or like if I have to like go out to dinner, like a special dinner or something like that, like I'm gonna eat like some barbecue or like a steak or something. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get into like bread or anything like that, or too many like carbs, but and no vegetables. I'll never eat vegetables again. That's stupid. Fat of the Land says, did everyone watch Godis's latest What I Eat in a Day? It was pretty dope. I didn't watch that. I gotta check that out. Mm-mm. I know he's not eating brains and balls every day. I know he's not eating that. I think he has a hard time getting brains over there. He made a video about it. Mm-mm. Steve-89, I'm an ectomorph. What's an ectomorph? I always feel terrible eating lower carbs, or I just need to adapt eating higher fat diet. You can try that, or you can just eat some carbs, man. That's what I do. Who cares? I feel fantastic, and I eat like a gigantic bowl of cherries every night after dinner. I eat a jar of nut formula at night. I eat after dinner as like a little snack, like a nightly treat. Who cares, man? You don't have to abide by all these like crazy, insane, strict rules of eating. The idea is you want to be very strict at the very beginning of your diet while you're healing your body up. Get your gut healed up, get all your nutrient stores filled up, get everything filled up, and then start dabbling a little bit with some fruit, maybe have like a glass of milk and honey at night as a little treat as you're relaxing, watching some TV. Have a little nut formula after dinner if you're feeling like a sweet tooth. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's like, as long as it's within the realm of like raw primal eating, and you want to have like a little sweet, you want to have like a little carb because you feel like shit, who cares? It's like, the whole like don't be dogmatic about this stuff is really important. It was something that I rejected. It was a philosophy I rejected at the beginning because I felt like being dogmatic was the way to be, because I was always a very black and white thinker, very logical thinking guy. And so I was just like, yep, carnivore diet, that's the solution for everybody. Everybody should be carnivores, which is so ridiculous, man. Because like, I got out of carnivore and I started eating fruits and stuff like that, and I started feeling way better. And I felt like I was really missing out on something by missing fruits, man. And what it was, I think, was vitamin C. Because vitamin C has been shown to be profoundly beneficial at eradicating diseases and stuff like that. And so my body was craving vitamin C. It's also a powerful antioxidant, so I feel like my brain needed that antioxidant. So anyways, yeah, I got out of that dogmatic shit. And the more I get away from that stuff, the more I'm just getting back to my old style of eating, which is just like eat whatever I want whenever I want. But now it's only menu items that are on the raw primal thing. You know what I mean? But I just eat whatever I want whenever I want, man. Like if I want to have like a piece of fruit for lunch and some cheese, that's what I eat. If I want to have a second piece of fruit after dinner, that's what I eat. People say that might be too much sugar. I find that not to be the case. I have no issues with eating 2 fruit and having too much sugar. You know what I mean? I just don't see the correlation there. Yeah, it's a little bit of sugar, but how do you know your body doesn't need it? So don't stress yourself out by eating a super dogmatic, like just boring diet all the time, because stress is going to kill you more than actually being unhealthy will. So it's important to be happy. You know what I mean? It's important to find pleasure in life. So, you know, that doesn't mean exactly seek pleasure, but every once in a while, I think you can, you know, eat some raw primal cheesecake, you know, just have some fun with it, man, you know. Danny B, yo, Weston, what's your thoughts on the protests? Oh, it's ridiculous, man. Especially after the COVID thing. Like, all the businesses they're all, you know, affected by the COVID thing, and now that they're all getting burnt down and shit. I'm glad I don't live in Minnesota, let's put it that way. And I've always been on the side of cops, you know, because I don't feel like cops are, in my opinion, cops aren't pathologically like eradicating black people. There's really no evidence of that. There may be like a handful of cases, like half a dozen, where it was probably out of line, you know, and this may be one of those cases where the guy probably shouldn't have been leaning on his neck for like 10 minutes, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that there's a pathological issue with like white cops like just trying to go out and kill black people. I've looked into this stuff and there's just no evidence of it. And the crazy thing is you have all these black people protesting about this white cop that killed this one black guy, probably unintentionally, but it was through negligence, you know? But they're not complaining about the 25 black dudes that got shot by 25 black dudes on the south side of Chicago every single weekend. Does that make any sense? So one black guy dies because a cop accidentally put his knee on him for 10 minutes. But 25 black dudes die on the south side of Chicago. Nobody protests about that, right? So it's the media tries to create these like race wars between us. I don't believe any of it. I don't believe racism is real. That term racism. I think you're either doing right or you're doing wrong. You know what I mean? It's never like a racist thing. And so the minute you put color into it, you put race into it, it becomes a way to divide people, you know? So, Wes, did you do the moldy berry juice? No, I did not. I want to though. That's honestly something I want to try out here. I bet Soros is funding them protests for sure. Yeah, they're probably all hired actors. P. Miller says I'm able, or Patchy says chocolate cake is so nasty to me. Yeah, cake sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But pie doesn't sound bad. Like a blueberry pie? Now come on. Or a cherry pie? Get out of here. P. Miller, I'm able to resist donuts and cookies when they're near me, but I still can't resist sandwiches and sushi rolls. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, sushi rolls don't sound too bad to me either. You know what I mean? A little bit of rice. Like, who cares? Eat a little bit of rice if you want to eat some rice. Who gives a shit? Cooked starches are recommended by Aajonus for like over 50% of people. Probably more like 75%. If you really look into his book, We Want to Live, he says 50% of people need cooked starches to stop aging. And then he says more people need cooked starches for like over emotionality and like over hormone production or something like that. There's like a few different things besides the aging thing he recommends it for. So if you take that, at least 50% of people, right, need cooked starches. So that's half the world over here that needs cooked starches. And then there's these people over here, the other half of the world, that doesn't need it for aging, but they might need it for the over emotionality or hormones, or they just crave it for some reason, right? So that's more than 50% of the human population needs cooked starches in their diet, according to Aajonus Planets. That's why it's really important to look into his work and read his book many, many times, and have it as a hard copy sitting on your desk, and you can just pick it up and flip through it every once in a while, which is what I do. And I look through it and I just read a couple pages at a time, and it just blows your mind what you're actually seeing, what this guy's talking about. It's not just about eating raw meat and raw milk, guys. That's like obviously a cool part of it, and it's like, you know, badass and everything to eat raw meat, but it's so much more than that, man. It's about eating organs, it's about eating fruits, it's about eating starches, there's a whole world of stuff, man. Fallout Pro Hunter, YouTube auto-blocked my comment for mentioning black crime statistics. Yeah, they love doing that. And if you talk about gay people, too, they block your comments. So, Kind of makes you suspicious, doesn't it? You may be a little bit over the target if they're blocking your comments. Put spaces in between your words or your numbers, and that way it'll deceive the algorithm. OG Reinhardt, did Aajonus know how to fix multiple sclerosis? My neighbor is an old man with it. I feel bad for him and want him to heal. Get him on the diet. Doubt he'll go for it. You know, a lot of people don't go for the diet, but you got to get him on the diet first. If you don't have the book We Want to Live, email me and I'll give it to you on a PDF. But look up multiple sclerosis in the back of it. I know it's in there. Yeah, man, rice has become a regular thing for me. I never had an issue with rice. I was never a big rice eater. I'm a potato guy because I'm not Asian. I'm a little bit Irish. I think that's the Irish famine coming out in me. Always been a potato guy, man. I ate potatoes every single day. Yeah, regular sushi joints. Yeah, it's bad. I was eating a lot of sushi before I started this diet, believe it or not. I was starting to crave the raw stuff naturally. Kai saw there was an investigation that found the main people starting the vandalizing were not from Minneapolis, hence paid arsonists, likely by Soros. Yeah, they could have been paid, or it's also, I think, I heard it was criminals are just traveling to Minneapolis to go loot the city. So, General Cattle, didn't he say after 2 years on the diet you won't need cooked starches? I think he did say something like that. Which is, interestingly enough, I'm not even 2 years on the diet, so there may be something to that. But even if I don't need cooked starches after 2 years, like, I just love potatoes, man. I don't know how to explain it. I love cooked potatoes with a little bit of salt and some of that raw butter. It's such a treat, man. I'll probably never give it up. And honestly, if you're ever to, like, I'm never going to stop going out to eat for, like, special occasions, you know? And what I'm going to eat usually is probably, like, a steak or some barbecue. And they always give you, like, a potato with it. So that gives me an excuse to eat my side if I go out to a restaurant. And I don't have issues with potatoes. So I think I'm just going to roll with it. But, yeah, if you want to go very strict with what you actually need to eat, you may not need cooked starches after 2 years. But that's only the people I'm thinking he's talking about with the over-emotionality and hormone issues and, like, depression and stuff like that. He still said 50% of people need cooked starches to prevent aging. You know what I mean? And there's no time limit on that. There's no 2-year time limit. Fallout Pro Hunter, anyone cured acne with this diet? Oh, for sure. I had terrible acne my whole life. Terrible skin issues. Now, as you can see, I got nothing, man. My acne completely stopped. Like, I never get one pimple or zit ever. I never even think about it till you just brought it up now. It's like I never get one zit anymore. It's crazy. I used to get shit everywhere. I still have scars all over my face from it. Rebecca says, Wes, we need the raw cheese recipe. Oh, yeah, you need me to do a video on some cheese, huh? Yeah, unfortunately, I stopped drinking milk for a while, which I was getting a little bit concerned about hormones and stuff like that and estrogen. And I don't think it's a coincidence, guys, that I'm feeling a abnormal spike in my testosterone this week after eating all these balls on top of quitting milk for 3 weeks. I think that shit was messing up my hormones, man. I don't know for sure. I'm just purely speculating, but I'm going off of 2 years of intuition of eating raw foods, looking at my body, taking how I feel and stuff like that, looking at the abnormal amount of weight I was gaining around my center area, which is a sign of actually low testosterone, believe it or not. When you get proper levels of testosterone in your body, it will give you even fat distribution. I'm starting to get more even fat distribution in my body after quitting milk. So, I don't know. Excuse me. I would encourage people to cycle milk on and off and see how you feel on and off of it for a while. But maybe wait until you get to past the baby stage like I did, until you're like further into the diet, like a year or something like that, and kind of cycle the milk on and off to see where you're at. But I think it was good for me at the beginning. I got a bunch of nutrients that I was missing, stuff like that. But I don't crave milk anymore, man. I don't feel like I need it. I don't feel like I crave it. I don't know what it is. So I'm just going with my instincts. And now I'm feeling like a crazy like testosterone spike, and now I'm getting this midsection fat going away, which is which is a sign that my hormones and my body is like normalizing. Fallout Hunter, have you heard of the Kalergi plan and other plots to eliminate the white population? Oh, I know. I know. Not to make it all like a race thing, but I know that white people are like the most hated species on this side of heaven, as Jesse Peterson says it. Well aware of it, man. Not afraid to say it either. It's the truth. That's why the whole racism thing is hilarious, because they want to make it like a white versus black thing, but it's really, the majority of it is the black people hating the white people. It's pretty stupid, man. That's why I don't really get into it, and I don't believe in it because it's so preposterous, you know. Rebecca, what do you think? What happens when we die after life? Curious about your thoughts on this. That's a good question. I've thought a lot about this. We're definitely. I know one thing is for sure is that we're infinite spirits, and so we are infinite. Our bodies are not infinite. But I believe that we most likely stay right here. It makes the most sense to me. It makes the most sense to me that we stay right here. It doesn't make sense to me that we fly up into space and we go somewhere else. It doesn't make sense to me that we go into the center of the earth or burn in hell or something like that. I think heaven and hell exist right here, right now, and they exist in your consciousness. So you could be living in like a living hell if you design your life that way, for example. So I don't think heaven and hell is necessarily an afterlife. It could be happening right now, and it could also happen in your afterlife, but I think it's like a spiritual existence, not necessarily a physical place. And yeah, I think we stay right here, and I think we possibly get reincarnated. So I'm not 100% sure on these things, obviously. I'm just a human being. I don't have the mind of God. But I believe reincarnation is a strong possibility. And there's a lot of people, like children, that they have full recollections of their prior life. So they can tell you who they used to be, how they died, and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting stuff. Jonathan West, you should add dates. They're also good for thyroid. Interesting. You're right. I don't eat dates. I will add some dates. Thank you for that, man. That's a good idea. Corson, have you ever had an experience where your vision turned to a tint of purple? I don't think so. I haven't. WT says, I don't age. My dad is a vampire. Jesse Lee Peterson says he believes our bodies are not designed to die. Isn't that fascinating? I find that really fascinating, man. And if you read that book, Fasting and Man's Correct Diet by R.B. Pearson, they also hint at that. I know it's really out there, man, but what if we weren't designed to die? That just blows my freaking mind, man. You know what I mean? If you think about it. And it kind of almost makes sense. Like, why are we dying? Why is everybody dying? You know what I'm saying? It's really, really interesting stuff. It's very possible we were meant to live forever. What's up, Meteor Man? I'm going to pick some sour oranges from the neighborhood. Nice. Good to see you, man. Paris, how are you maintaining hydration when raw? Finding that I'm thirsty and I don't drink water. Honestly, I drink water. I drink mineral water. I drink actually quite a bit of it. I drink about... And honestly, I'm drinking a little bit more now that it's like... I drink way less in the winter, but now that it's like spring and summer and stuff, I drink like an 18-ounce thing probably every day of mineral water. It's Mountain Valley. I get it delivered to me. Rebecca says, is the testosterone for even fat distribution just for men? I doubt it. I bet it's for women too. If you think about it, more estrogeny people are more kind of puffy and like, you know, fat and stuff like that. I think it's something that I'd have to research. Uh, I just learned that kind of in passing, reading about testosterone, and it makes sense. It's a universal hormone. It's found in all animals, you know, or all mammals, maybe. Wolfstange, to be honest, milk influenced testosterone would make sense since infants need a lot of estrogen with a male female. I never knew that, but I was suspecting that it was messing up my hormones a little bit because I mean, I don't know what it feels like to be like full of estrogen or whatever, or to be have less testosterone. But now that I feel like my testosterone is like normalized after eating all these testicles and getting off of milk, now I know what it feels like to be to have your testosterone off because I felt that was like a normal state of existence for me. But I was like kind of like tired during the day and like getting a little bit like spaced out and shit like that. That was what was really bugging me is I was like spaced out all the time. It was very strange to be on this diet and eating all these nutrient dense foods and feeling spaced out, you know what I mean? So I think a lot of that had to do with testosterone, man. I think it's just a very, very important hormone for men. And so that being said, I'm probably going to stay away from drinking as much milk as I was drinking before, and I'm just going to start eating a lot more balls. Chicken Jar says they even sell cow vaginas. Wow, I did not know that. For Chicken Jar, it's crazy, bro. I believe in reincarnation too. Also, what about birthmarks? Is that where we got killed in the past life? That's an interesting. That sounds like an interesting, almost kind of like myth or something. I don't believe that's true. It's probably some kind of just. It's just it seems like a birth defect, honestly, like something that didn't happen properly in creation. You know. I don't know. It could be where you got killed in past life. Though I've seen people with them all over their faces. You know what I mean? Like they could have got like hit with an axe or something. Eat raw meat. Says Wes is gonna eat his dates. Cannibal. Yeah, watch out. Watch out, ladies. I'm a wild one. Fallout Prunner says anyone else in Cali? 16 a gallon for raw milk here. Yeah, there's a bunch of people from Cali, for sure. Yeah, I know P. Miller's from Cali. I know Chicken Jars from Cali. Sorry if I'm blowing up your guys' spot here. I'll be quiet. WT Purple, yes, I got Purple Vision. It was on magic mushrooms, but still nevertheless. Yeah, I've never got purple on magic mushrooms. I never saw the purples. I always saw like really bright fluorescent blues and reds. Whenever I would come up on the mushrooms, I would see these shades of blue and red that I've never seen in my entire life. That's what's crazy about mushrooms is it like does something to your rods and cones and it helps you see these like brand new colors. It's really fascinating. Excuse me. I think I'm detoxing all that weed I smoked like in the last 10 years. Jonathan, also, man, you may try some organic vanilla extract in your nut formula. Aajonus touches on vanilla and we want to live. Interesting. Yeah, I'm interested in see what the benefits of vanilla are. I have some organic extract too. Maybe I'll try that. I put some of that in the raw cheesecake recipe. Matthew DeFranco, what does raw chicken taste like? It tastes like nothing, man. If you get some good pastured chicken, like I get, it tastes like nothing. Excuse me, I gotta clear my throat every 2 seconds. Natalie O, what kind of mineral water do you drink? I drink Mountain Valley. And I get it delivered to my house in 5-gallon glass bottles. I get 2 at a time. It's like $15 a bottle. It's really cheap. It's cheaper than the store for sure. Shout out to Brazil. What's up, T-War? Jonathan Pernice says docs. Yeah, no shit. They know you're in Cali. Uh-oh. Weblog Saigon. I've cut out starches, carbs for a while, but I wonder if it's connected to poor sleep I've experienced off and on. It's very possible. Because I know when I fast, when I completely go off of food for a while, I tend to not sleep the best. So I think there may be a connection there. Do some experiments. Wolfshan says, I think magic shrooms can't be that bad. Molds heal us, and there are fungi as well. Magic mushrooms are not bad. I'm telling you right now. If they were bad for you, I would be dead right now, or like mentally retarded. Let's put it that way. I've probably taken more than anybody you've ever known, like for sure. I know I've taken more than anybody I've ever known, so I would be mentally retarded right now. In fact, it does the opposite. I think it hyperconnects your thinking and your mind, and it enhances your linguistic systems, so it helps you communicate better, access words. But yeah, the idea that mushrooms are bad for you is one of the biggest misconceptions and brainwashes, I think, of the 20th century. What century we're in? 21st? Whatever freaking century we're in. It's one of the biggest brainwashes and scams ever, besides raw meat being bad for you. It's right up there with it, man. I'm telling you. Guys, I know all of the scams in the world. I would not be bullshitting you guys on something like mushrooms, but, you know, I don't promote drugs. I'm not saying everybody should go eat mushrooms or anything like that, but I'm telling you, all of the propaganda about mushrooms being bad for you in any way or fashion is complete bullshit, man. Total bullshit. There's no evidence of it. In fact, there's way more evidence of the opposite. And it's really preposterous if you just look at it on its face, that someone telling you a mushroom is bad for you. I mean, just because there's some poisonous mushrooms out there doesn't mean that they're all bad for you. Lofty says, how do you cook the potatoes? What I do is I cut them into quarters, and then I roll them in a little bit of olive oil, and then I throw a little bit of salt on it, and then I throw it in the oven for 25 minutes in a glass Pyrex dish at 450 degrees. Nice. Got another Brazilian. What's up, Volkasher? Brazil. P. Miller, do you think just drinking 2 cups a day of milk would have a negative effect on testosterone? It's possible, man. Like, excuse me, I gotta keep clearing my throat. I don't know why that is. But I looked up some studies. I looked deep into some studies about 2 years ago when I was first getting into this diet on milk and hormones, and it's very, very clear evidence that milk is full of hormones, man. I mean, because they keep the animals pregnant all the time. And so if you think about it, all of that stuff is coming through the milk. And so just look up some studies on it, hormones in milk, some like, you know, peer-reviewed studies, the ones that all the gammas and vegans like to read. Read that one on milk and hormones, and it will probably change how you think about milk forever, man. Like, it's definitely something to consider. You know, combining that with the large population of people that don't even think we're supposed to be drinking milk, it's something to think about, man. You know, it's a very, very good nutrition powerhouse. It's a nutrient complete food, and it's very beneficial for someone trying to heal their body. But is it beneficial for someone that's already healthy, that doesn't need to repair their body at like a rapid rate? I don't know, man. You know, something for you to experiment with. Zona says, when I lived in England, I would pick berries with my dad all the time. They were the best berries I've had in my life. That sounds fun. Fat of the Land says, I had a lot of fun on mushrooms. Yeah, oh yeah. They're the funnest thing of all time. There's like, I just smile thinking about them, man. There's nothing more fun. There's nothing more fun than I've ever experienced. Bulk is sure. What kind of mushrooms did you take? Well, they were psilocybe cubensis. but I've had a lot of different varieties. I've had golden teachers. I've had Burma. I've had penis envy. Those were the strongest ones I've ever taken. And I don't know. I think I had some B pluses. I've had quite a few different strains. P. Miller watermelon is my go-to fruit in June. I love watermelon, man. WT says I did shrooms so often that I became immune. A quarter ounce will not get me high. That's very interesting. Yeah, it's almost like they have like there's a vitamin in those mushrooms that your body needs, and that's why when you first take them, you actually you'll hallucinate, and it'll be like a very profound experience. It's almost like what happens when you eat like raw liver or raw brains for the first time, first 2 times. Your body is desiring something out of that it's never had before, so it has a very profound effect. And like you said, if you take enough mushrooms, it doesn't have that effect on you anymore, because there might be actually some hidden, unresearched nutrient in there that's good for your mind. You know what I'm saying? That's like a theory I've been thinking about. It's very fascinating. Basically, the only reason people hallucinate on mushrooms is because you're mentally deficient in whatever nutrient it's offering you. So when it hits you, it just blows your brain. Gentle cattle, any farms you know of that will ship testicles? Yeah, just research it. Just Google it, and if you look on the first page or use DuckDuckGo on the first page, they'll ship them to you for sure. There's a bunch of them. Fat of the land. West, you'd be like Toe Rogan with that throat clearing. I don't know what it is, man. I think honestly, it started like this year. It's so annoying. I need like one of those buttons where the mic goes off. But I think it started this year because I had basically stopped using cannabis at the end of last year, and so I think my lungs are detoxing cannabis because I used it for years and years and years. That's the only thing I can think of. So it's a good thing, even though it's annoying. It's a good thing. Vitamin D is an animal hormone. Don't be afraid of hormones, for sure. Yeah, all hormones aren't bad. Yeah, it's the estrogen. That's what was bugging me about milk, man. And I was putting on some weight around my waist, which is like a sign of I was putting on weight in areas where women put on weight. It's really strange. P. Miller, I just bought 3 gallons of milk. Haha. Guess I'll go through this and take a break and see how I feel. I went through phases. It's okay to go through phases too, where you drink a bunch, you go off of it, drink a bunch. We'll see. Oh yeah, super insane fractals. You can't even describe what you see at high doses of mushrooms. You can't even articulate it. It's just things exploding all over the place in your vision, and just colors, and it's unbelievable. Corson says, what will truly change your life is feeling like you're on shrooms when you're not. I've been chasing that incredible high for a while. Unfortunately, I chose to smoke, taking from heaven to hell. Yeah, you don't want to go down the mushroom rabbit hole. You don't want to start chasing that high or anything like that. It's just it's a profound experience, and what you're supposed to do is just learn from it and integrate it into your personal life. You know what I mean? Which I feel like I've done a pretty good job of. It taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot of stuff. Pedro, hey, I think the same of the potatoes. When we do oven codfish with the potatoes, I just eat for the whole day. Yeah, man, potatoes are good. There's a reason I think everybody eats them. Psychobalaman, I don't seem to tolerate raw eggs. Is this normal? I've heard a lot of people say that about eggs, man. Make sure you're sourcing good eggs. But they're supposed to be the most easiest digested food, you know? So it's strange that you wouldn't be able to tolerate it. But make sure you're getting good eggs first off. Are you getting good like pastured eggs from a farmer? Soy and corn free? Are you making sure they're not getting fed like bad stuff? Zonatrax in Weston Price's book, he noted the Austrians, or was it the Swiss, they ate only meat on Sundays and ate raw dairy the rest of the week. I think it might have been the Swiss. I think you're right. Psychobalamin, I constantly hack out mucus while on primal diet. Aajonus said that's lungs detoxing. I had an inhaler as a kid. Yeah, it definitely feels like lung detox. And I was unable to detox my lungs until I quit vaporizing cannabis, you know? That's why I encourage anybody that's on this diet to just not smoke weed. Don't use cannabis, even though it's probably one of the safest drugs out there. If you want to, you know, use something recreationally, it's not a good idea to inhale it, man. If you insist on using cannabis as a medicine, eat a little piece of it raw flour with a piece of cheese. That's the way to do it. Yeah, Al K, did you feel high off high meat for the first time? Oh yeah, I still feel high off high meat. You know, I got some gigantic jars of high meat, guys. I should probably eat some high meat. I'll eat some high meat for you guys. I'll be right back. This stuff is nice and ripe. I noticed it doesn't seem like it changes much after like 3 months or so. It gets to a point where it's kind of like the same as it was like last month, you know. But this stuff is at least like 3 months old, maybe 4 months. This might even be 6 months old. I don't even keep track anymore. But I got 2 giant jars going right now. I got so much high meat, guys. High liver. Very sharp. Very good. Yeah, the Aajonus book is called We Want to Live. Chicken jar. I ate some high meat yesterday and I was going woo woo for a while. Then I went for a run with my dog. It does that to you, man. It'll get you fired up. WT, I was introduced to cannabis at age 14, so was I. So was I, man. I know some people that started smoking weed when they're like 10, 12 years old, man. Happens. Okay, do you think weed makes you dumb? I think all of the metals that you're smoking and inhaling inside the weed makes you dumb, for sure. Guys, cannabis is full of heavy metals. Look it up. Look it up. It could also make you schizophrenic in a way, too. It could split your mind, for sure. It just depends on who you are. I don't think it does that to everybody, but I think if you use too much of it, it could definitely, it could trigger like a schizophrenic thing. I've seen it happen in people, man, you know? Like it, and I think it's not like the type of schizophrenia that you would think like some guy rambling, like talking to himself, talking about how the world is gonna end, and like wearing a tinfoil hat. It's not that kind of schizophrenia. It's more like it's like a catatonia. If you look up like catatonic schizophrenia, that's the type of shit that happens to potheads. Look it up, man. It'll make you want to quit forever. Look up catatonic schizophrenia and tell me that's not someone stoned on weed. Fat of the land, weed dulls the spirit according to Chinese medicine. Yeah, weed pulls you out of the presence of God. It pulls you out of the consciousness of God. Is it normal to be paranoid from weed? Yeah. Yeah, that's a sign you shouldn't be doing it too. Wolfshange, it's burnt heavy metals in tobacco and weed. Exactly, guys. Yeah, cannabis sucks up all of the heavy metals from the soil, and then it goes into the plant. And then you take the plant and you burn it and you smoke it. Like, get out of here, man. You're telling me that's... I don't think it's natural, man. Yes, and weed does steal your dreams, guys. I didn't dream for like 10 freaking years, man. I didn't dream like 10 freaking years. And then I stopped smoking weed, and I had dreams every single night after I quit, guys. Every single freaking night. It was a complete, total flip change in my chemistry. Fat of the land, I smoked a shit ton of weed, and I can say with confidence that it sucks. Me too, man. It does kind of suck. It's weird. It's like when you're doing it, you love it. But then you get like tired of it, and you find out it's like hard to quit. It becomes like a part of your... It becomes a part of you. It's really weird, man. It like sinks its tentacles into you. But then once you get away from it, like once I get away from weed, I find it like repulsive. It's weird. It's really strange. Al K, if something makes you not dream, probably safe to say it's not good. Yeah, I think eat raw meat. It looks like he's taking his nappy poo. I think that he said that he read or heard somewhere that if you don't dream, then it means you're mentally ill because you're missing out on 1/3 of your life. Think about that, man. It's profound. Gentle Cattle says you shouldn't smoke anything. Exactly. You shouldn't smoke anything, you shouldn't inhale anything, and you should never inject anything. You should never snort anything. If anything, just eat a little bit, you know? Chicken Jar says they even put oyster shells and bat guano in weed. So you're smoking bat shit and burning oyster shells. Corson says weed is a tricky one. It makes life seem better to begin with, but will slowly turn a high into your new normal and your new normal into a low. Exactly. I think it desensitizes your dopamine receptors. That's like the worst part of it. And I think it also, another thing that made me quit weed, guys, is it lowers your testosterone. That's not something you want as a man. You do not want lowered testosterone. So I watched a video, I can't remember which doctor it was, but it was a doctor doing a video on weed. And it lowers your testosterone, man. Little Viking coach, go watch Bobby Lee from Mad TV talk about relapsing after 17 years sober on his podcast. Tiger Belly, he flipped out. No shit. I could see that guy flipping out on weed. Bobby Lee, for sure. He looks like he eats like shit, too. Yeah, weed kills dreams in a metaphorical and literal sense. Weblog, like I was in a dissociative state of mind even days after smoking weed. I believe you. I know some people, guys, that quit smoking weed and they said they were high for months afterwards. They were still high for months. That's how strong weed is. It like gets you high for days and days and days and you don't even realize it. Gregory says weed stealing dreams means it's killing brain cells or more of the part of your brain that produces dreams. You know what my theory on it is? I was starting to think about that towards the end of when I was quitting. I was like, why am I not dreaming? And like, you know, I would think about that. I think it's because when you're smoking weed, you're doing like it's releasing DMT in your brain, but it's like a slow trickle of DMT. And I think your dreams also use your DMT. And so when you're smoking weed all day, you're slowly trickling that DMT off, having these mild hallucinations and stuff. That's what makes weed fun, is you're like, hallucinating just a little bit throughout the day. But when you go to bed, you don't have any more DMT left, and so you can't dream. I think that's part of it. The other part of it is I think weed artificially stimulates your mind. And anytime you artificially stimulate your mind, you have a hard time going into like REM sleep. So Weblog says Jess became agoraphobic for a time too. I know what you mean, man. Yeah, it definitely made me kind of antisocial. It also, I think, increased my anger. Believe it or not, I think weed is linked with like anger problems. As much as you wouldn't think that, you would think it like makes you more chilled out and stuff like that. No, it actually makes you more irritable. Wolf Shanj, I still feel a bit THC high sometimes when I fast. That's interesting. Martin O'Donnell, haven't played video games since 2016, no television for a year. Learned that life is full of distractions, basically. Devil turning you away from God. Yes. You nailed it, man. That's what your phone is, too. I realize that. Because anytime you're like thinking about your phone or you're looking into your phone, if you really pay attention, your mind is going completely out of the moment and it's going into this different world. And then when you put your phone back down, you have to like come back out of that world into this world. When you do that all day long, it's like a disconnection between the moments. But yeah, I quit video games too about the same time, about 2000, mine was probably 2017 or something like that, and I'll never go back. I was just talking about that with Chicken Jar today, man. Video games are stupid. Talk about a false reality. Yeah, look how many people have negative experiences from weed, man. Isn't that crazy? And it's supposedly like the most harmless drug there is, Everybody smokes pot, right? Look how many freaking people in this chat are like, weed made me, triggered depersonalization, derealization. Weed fucked up my dreams. Weed made me this, made me that. Like, get out of here, man. You guys got to look at these anecdotes. But the gammas will look at the science and they'll go, they've done biological studies on weed and they've shown that it's the least harmful drug that there is, and it's just pushing out this propaganda. They're trying to legalize it and put it on every street corner. I think it's a sacred medicine. It should be used very sparingly for certain conditions. It might be good for epilepsy, maybe certain hardcore depression, but a lot of that stuff can be healed with diet. So I think people just use weed until they figure out that their diet fixes it. That was a big chunk of high meat. Weed stole my car. Legalizing weed is definitely a psyop. Oh, for sure. For sure, man. Fat of the land. Excuse me. Anyone looking into tongue and fingernail analysis, a bit like iridology, and can help to identify health issues. I've been just trying to quit chewing my nails. That's what I need to do. Gregory DeFranco, everyone in my life that picked up weed has messed up their life. I was always jealous of people that like never smoked weed. I was really jealous of them. Like, how did you do that? How did you resist it, I was a glutton for weed for so long. I was such a glutton. Chicken Jar, I wonder if high meat causes pupil dilation. I don't know, man. Do my pupils look a little bigger? They might be, a little bit. a good question. We need to do like experiments on high meat. You know what I mean? That's something that would be like, I'm probably giving away like $1 million idea here, but you could like write a book on that shit. Get a bunch of test subjects and like feed them all high meat, and then just like measure their psychological changes and their pupil dilation, their blood pressure, their, you know what I mean? Measure their changes over time. Fat of the Lance, I used to blaze it up and play GoldenEye and Perfect Dark on the N64. Oh, I can't believe you brought up GoldenEye. Holy shit. GoldenEye, dude. Damn. Now you make me want to play some GoldenEye. That's like the best game of all time. There's nothing better than GoldenEye. Thanks for the super chat, J Low. I crave raw milk very bad, but it makes me gain weight like crazy. It made me gain 40 pounds in 4 months. Why do you think I crave it so bad? There's probably some kind of nutrient or vitamin in it that you're missing in your diet. It'd be kind of hard to figure out though, because raw milk has like every vitamin and nutrient in it. But if you're craving it, I would probably continue to drink it, but just maybe cut it back a little bit. You could also try working in some raw butter and some raw cheese in there too, because those are going to have like similar nutrients in there, and you may not like binge on it so much like you do on the milk. But yeah, you're probably craving it for the hydration. You're probably craving it for some of the fat soluble vitamins that are like so beneficial to the body. So look into fat soluble vitamins, and then look into write down what foods you're eating and figure out what vitamins are in those foods. Try to figure out what vitamins you're missing and what vitamins are going to be in the milk versus the other foods you're getting. And maybe you can nail down what you're getting. It could be like a vitamin A, it could be like vitamin D. But I can probably almost guarantee it's fat soluble vitamins that you're missing out on. It does make you gain weight, that's for sure. But it's not necessarily a bad thing to gain weight on this diet, you know? It's actually something you want to do at the beginning. But you can always like shed it off. And that's why I recommend like doing what I did in the first year and a half on this diet. Cycle milk on and off, you know what I mean? You know, put on some weight, shed the weight off, put on some weight, shed the weight off. It'll help you detox some things out of your body. And that way you can kind of figure out, you know, how much milk you actually want and need. Docile Sheeps, what are your thoughts on coffee? It's probably good every once in a while, just as like a treat. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a fun thing to drink when you're like socializing with people and stuff. But I wouldn't drink it every day. Drinking it every morning is that's just an addiction. I was able to quit coffee on a water fast, so that's one thing that this diet did for me too. Is it helped me quit coffee. I quit everything I was addicted to, man. It's crazy. Honestly, I never thought I'd be here saying that, but I've quit everything. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it's just another thing that people depend on for fake energy. It's unearned energy. If you get your energy from these foods, if you're filled up on nutrients and vitamins all day long, and you're eating all this like I just ate like a bunch of tuna belly and shit like that, like you're not gonna crave stuff like coffee and sugar anymore. It seems like you just don't even think about it. Do Aajonus workshops come on in video instead of just audio? Some of them, Ibrahim has got. I'm going to do an interview with Ibrahim coming up here soon too. But I don't think he has Skype, so it's going to be kind of hard to do that. But so yeah, I look forward to that, guys. Hopefully Ibrahim can get some Skype going and we can get a little combo. But he's got some of his workshops on video, but I don't think all of them were taped. Yeah, Duke Nukem was pretty funny. I liked that game. Little Viking coach brings up a good point. It says that the case of morphines in milk, which are related to morphine, Yeah, you could be craving the more like the heroin like opiate like effect in milk too. It's interesting. Never thought about that. I forgot about that. J-Lo, do you not drink milk anymore? Yeah, I actually cut out milk. I've been drinking it, big amounts of it for about 21 months now. And every once in a while, I just cut it out. I don't feel like drinking it anymore, and that's what I did. And I feel fine. I actually feel a little bit better. It was kind of dragging my energy down a little bit, so you got to pay attention to it. Aajonus recommended if you're drinking so much milk that it's dragging your energy down to drink much less of it. So I was probably drinking too much of it, but like I said earlier in my stream, I was worried about the hormones and stuff like that. So thin chips, how do I quit Diet Coke? You just gotta quit that shit, man. If you're addicted to the caffeine, switch over to like black tea. Drink some black tea instead of Diet Coke, and then just cut off the black tea. Black tea is gonna be way better for you. That would be my recommendation. P. Miller, would you ever introduce small amounts of wine down the line? Oh, for sure, definitely. Yeah, I crave wine every once in a while. Like I crave beer and wine. Yeah, just not too much. Not so much you get drunk, like a couple glasses with a meal. I always drank with food every time I drank anyways, so that's like definitely the German way, just drink a little bit with your dinner if you want. Who gives a shit, you know what I mean? It's not gonna kill you. Couple glasses of wine. Thin chips, how do you reply in chat? Yeah, fat of the land answered you there. Right, the @ sign. Yeah, Ciroc that's a good potato vodka for sure. That would be the one that I drink for sure. And interestingly enough, before I started this diet, I liked Ciroc a lot. There is a workshop on DVD that he sold, yeah. It's just one of his workshops though. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that's what he was asking. If he was asking if all of his workshops were on DVD or if just one of them was, but he definitely has a workshop on DVD for sure. Chicken Jars is maybe use 8x8 VC and have Ibrahim go on that website. You could make a live stream that way easily. You put the YouTube stream key in it and can have a two-way combo. Maybe, yeah. I'm trying to figure out how, if he's technologically savvy enough to see what he's willing to do, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that or not, I'm trying to get him to just download Skype, and that seems to be like an issue, so I appreciate that suggestion. I'll keep that in mind, and if he's familiar with that, then I'll see if he's down for it. Yeah. The opiate effect, maybe why cream and milk are so good for sleeping. Yeah, it's the opiates, and it's also the cream nourishes your nervous system. Eat raw meat. I just found an internet address that sells bull balls. I ordered 34 balls. Haha. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's out there, man. It's out there. I'm afraid to talk too much about it because you guys are going to steal all the ball supply, but consider yourselves lucky. You know about this ancient secret of testicles. Make the man strong. Go get yourself some balls, young man. I'm going to keep it on the down low, though, for sure. I'm not going to tell anybody where I get my balls locally or anything like that, because, I think I'm the only dude that buys balls off this guy. Can you believe that? There's like 1 million people that live in my metropolis, and I'm the only dude. He's happy to see me. He's like, hey! He calls me Easy Money. That's what he called me last time. He was like, Easy Money! What's up, man? He considers me easy money because I just go in there and buy all of his skulls and balls. I'm like, dude, you don't even know. You don't even know, man. You're giving me the deal of the century. Someone's lighting up firecrackers out there. It's pretty annoying. Weblog, do you shave with egg whites? No, I obviously don't shave, but Yeah, it could work for shaving, and I think raw milk works too. Aajonus said raw milk works best for shaving. Do you have blue or green eyes? I had blue eyes when I was a kid. They turned green from toxins in my body, showing lymphatic congestion rings in my eyes. And now they're turning back to blue. It's pretty interesting. Never ate balls before? Oh, dude, you're in for a treat, buddy. Eat them for like 3 days and come talk to me, dude. Pretty insane. Okay, you think your eyes are going to be translucent like Aajonus eyes on the primal diet? Possibly, man. They're already getting much cleaner. I'm noticing that my eyes are they're getting just, you can see they're still green though when you put this bright light on it, you know what I mean? But if you like take this off, I don't know, it just depends kind of like how much light you have shining on them, but they're getting a lot more blue for sure. There's no reason why it shouldn't, you know what I mean? Why it shouldn't clear them up. Corson says, for quitting things, honestly, you just have to grin and bear it. With each day you don't have it, you feel less attached, but it will be more tempting because you'll think you beat the temptation. Yeah, I just got to get away from it for a while. That's the thing. And it's almost like your spirit becomes attached to it. Or whatever you're addicted to puts something in your spirit. And then once you get away from it, your spirit stops being driven by this external force. My grandpa ate balls. That's one of the funniest things I've read probably on my live stream. Chicken jar. Actually, I would think that would drive the price down with the higher demand. Is that how that works? That would drive the price down? Yeah, I guess it depends on how much the supply is though, right? I'm not sure what the supply is on it. I thought supply, yeah, it depends on supply for sure. But that's a factor. I want to be called Easy Money too. I know, it was funny. It called me Easy Money. This big old jolly farmer wearing overalls. That's my farmer. Do you live in an apartment? No, I live in a house. Brands are high in omega-3, DHA. Yes. Where do you get balls? I have a local guy. A local guy that I get them from. You gotta look around. Look around. Check out, best place to check would be like a live meat market. But you can also get them online. Just look online. They're all over the place. Can you get cheap bones for the dogs? Yeah, they have all sorts of cheap bones at this market that I go to. They got like goat horns and they have like rabbit feet and just, you know, they don't have a lot of bones, but I give them goat skulls. So they chew on goat skulls all the time. That's kind of like their bones now, is goat faces. They let them putrefy in my garden until they get like maggots on them and they start like disintegrating. And then they chew them up. They let them like dry age outside. It's interesting. Eat raw meat says, who else thinks that West seems even more chill today? I really think the brains and balls diet is good. Food of the warriors. Dude, I'm telling you. I know I'm more chill and relaxed. I can feel it, man. For sure. I'm in just like a really good mood. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I felt better the last 2 days than I felt in like years, man. And it has definitely something to do with these balls and brains. Cock and balls diet. That was great. Kai Solace West, I sent you an email attempting to address your concern with milk estrogen. Right on. Love hearing the chirping birds. Can you guys hear the birds? We got a lot of trees in my neighborhood, man. I love this neighborhood. I got trees everywhere. Big old trees. Stereotypical farmer. Oh yeah, this dude. If you saw my farmer at the meat market, it's just like something out of a movie, dude. Big old jolly white guy with a big old belly wearing overalls. Just, you know, not a care in the world. Just a great dude. OG Reinhardt, did you know Aajonus say that nail polish is very toxic? I wasn't aware of that. Make sure your lady doesn't wear any and it's cheaper. Interesting. I did not hear him say that, but I did hear him say that lipstick is made out of cockroaches. Jeez, listen to those guys. A local balls guy. Yeah, exactly. Eat raw meat says West's gonna control the black market for balls soon. Betcha, man. Start a website. Balls.com. How does it feel when you eat balls? It feels great. I don't know how else to explain it besides that. It feels really good. It just feels like it's like stimulating in a way. It also increases your libido in a sense. So you tend to become like, I don't know how to explain it, like just more attracted to women, like kind of thinking about women a little bit more now than I was, even more so. And my energy is like through the roof, and I'm just like at peace. I don't know how to explain it. Like testosterone is just such a it's such a normal hormone for men to have that it just makes me feel normal. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to explain it. It just normalizes you. It's good stuff. But when I first, it was almost like addictive. It was getting to the point where it was getting addictive. Because I was feeling this feeling that I haven't felt in so long. So now I'm just eating balls every day, all day long. Chicken Jar says your neighbors probably think you're a Satanist with all them goat skulls in your backyard. Yeah, I know. And yeah, they probably think I'm kind of weird. Because they opened my, one of my packages went to my neighbor's house the other day. And she accidentally opened it. And I was like, oh, I just know it's like, it's probably some weird book that I ordered or something. She's like, here's a package. It was on my doorstep. Like, sorry, I opened it. I thought it was for me. And I was like, oh shit, what book is this going to be? And I opened it up and it was like, Mushrooms and Christianity, Evidence of Christianity and Mushrooms. I was like, my boomer neighbor probably thinks I'm a freak with my mushroom Christianity books and my goat skulls in the backyard. But I don't give a shit. She knows I'm cool. We talk all the time. Not all the time, but we've had a few conversations. They're pretty good. Martin O'Donnell, how can I buy a goat sheep and get the brains, blood, and balls? Check out a meat market, man. Try to find some kind of live meat market. I'm really, really blessed to have one locally here. It's one of the only one in the area. It's really a genius idea this guy came up with to do it. And he met a lot of, he got a lot of shit for it at the beginning too from like protesters. But he said, fuck them, man. I'm going to start butchering my own animals and I'm going to sell you whatever part I want. Chicken Jar says, get it 5 coolers and make a balls shipping company. Possible. Balls and brains company. I could, yeah. I don't know. The thing is I want to eat them all for myself, you know? I need testicles. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you, it's the real deal, dude. We're all severely deficient in brain, blood, and balls. The Natural Balls Diet. Man, you guys are cracking me up. Fat of the Land says, good job, it wasn't raw ball eating in the 19th century. Exactly. Yeah. All about balls. Everything you want to know about balls. I like the Natural Balls Diet. I might change my channel to that. Chicken Jar says, sorry we're out of stock. I ate everything, Wes. It's funny stuff. You guys are killing me over here. Feeling good, man. I had balls and brains and eyeballs and tuna belly and high meat. What a freaking meal, man. I feel like $1,000,000. We're about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Probably a good time to end the stream here. It's been another great stream, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me, and I'll try to do another one tomorrow if possible. So stay tuned. I will keep everyone on my email list that wants to get emailed. I will email you. If you want to get on my email list, email me at 88668@protonmail.com. I will email you before every live stream so you get notified by email, because YouTube doesn't do a good job of notifying people. So, all right, guys. Thanks for all the great comments. Thanks again for the food, Tyler. Keep eating raw meat. God bless. Talk to you guys later.